The life of King David from shepherd to king. David was born in Bethlehem. In the land of Judah, he was the youngest son of Jesse, the tribe of Judah. David had 7 older brothers, and while they were strong and tall, David was the smallest. God saw his heart full of faith, courage, and love. From a young age, David worked as a shepherd, taking care of his father's sheep. He spent much time alone in the fields, playing the harp, singing songs to God, and writing psalms. His deep love for God grew in those quiet moments where he learned to trust and obey the Lord. When David was still a boy, Israel was at war with the Philistines. The giant warrior Goliath challenged Israel to send one man to fight him, but everyone was afraid. David, trusting in God, said, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." 1 Samuel 17:37. After King Saul disobeyed God, the Lord told Samuel, the prophet, "I have rejected Saul as king. Fill your horn with oil and go to Bethlehem. I have chosen one of Jesse's sons to be the new king." 1 Samuel 16:1. Samuel was afraid because Saul was still the king, but he obeyed the Lord and went to Bethlehem as God commanded. When Samuel arrived, Jesse and his sons came to meet him. Samuel looked at Eliab, Jesse's oldest son. He was tall and strong, and Samuel thought, "Surely this is the one the Lord has chosen." But God said to Samuel, "Do not look at his appearance or height, for I have rejected him."
The Lord does not see as man sees. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. So Jesse called his other sons Abinadab, Shammah, and 4 more, but God said no to each one. Finally Samuel asked Jesse, "Are these all the sons you have?" Jesse said, "There is still the youngest, but he is out in the fields taking care of the sheep." Samuel said, "Send for him. We will not sit down until he arrives." When David came in, he was young, handsome, and his eyes were bright with life. Then the Lord said, "This is the one, anoint him." So Samuel took the horn of oil and poured it on David's head in the presence of his brothers. From that day on, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David. 1 Samuel 16:3. Armed only with a sling and 5 stones, David faced Goliath. With 1 stone he struck the giant in the forehead, and Goliath fell. Through faith and courage, David showed that God's power is greater than any enemy. After defeating Goliath, David became known throughout Israel. He was invited to live in King Saul's palace, where he played music on his harp to calm the king's troubled heart. David also became a brave warrior, leading many battles and winning victories. However, King Saul grew jealous of David's popularity and success. Even when Saul tried to kill him, David refused to harm Saul, because Saul was still God's chosen king. David said, "I will not lift my hand against my master, because he is the Lord's anointed." 1 Samuel 24:10. This showed David's obedience and respect for God's authority, even in hardship. After many years of running from Saul, David continued to trust the Lord's timing. When Saul died in battle, David mourned for him instead of celebrating. Then, God fulfilled his promise. David was anointed king of Israel. He ruled first over Judah and later over all Israel, uniting the tribes into one strong nation.